hasn't done a damn thing either.
We want to go after George. If I was to get HOH, whatever next time, I'm going to go after George. Here's the premise, okay?
So you're trying to create this animosity and this whatever confusion or all this other between these other groups.
That's the only way to save our asses.
So we create all this between the other groups. There is one group that, regardless of who they say, who they talk to, they are coming after our group. And there is one group that is trying to turn this entire house against our group.
But do you what happens if they cease to exist?
Well, they don't cease to exist because they're still here for another week.
What if once they're gone? What happens? Or once we attack? Once we go after
people
them?
are going to come after us, anyways.
Not if you. I'm trying to do whatever.
No, I understand that. Like I said, we both have different ideas on how that. So just dumbass. So just we both have our different ideas for strategy. That's something that we're both going to always. I mean, we can't always agree on everything.
Right, this is my strategy. I'm
right, and you're HOH, and as you told Janelle that I'm HOH, I can't say shit. You know what I mean?
Not that you can't say shit.
So
we're functioning as a team.
Just
we always joke around with
out of those two. Look, I just need to know why Nakoma should stay over Diane.
Because I'll tell you why.
Because Diane has one HOH and one veto. Nakoma has 3 HOHs.
That has nothing to do with it. I didn't even factor that into it. I understand that she's a good player. They're both good players, but they play the game differently. I can see, even if it's not now, I can see Diane siding up with Chilltown before Nakomis does. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And if either one of them was to get HOH.
Hey.
But I have my porch.
Here, that one, I didn't mix it.
If either one of them was to get HOH, Nakomis would be the one to go after Chilltown.
Okay, so Nakomis gets her HOH.
And she would not come after us.
Right, but Nakomis gets her first HOH and goes after Chilltown.
Right.
Okay, Chilltown is at that point dismantled. Nakomis' next HOH, who does she go after?
The rest of the house is still scared shitless of Nakomis.
Look, Nakomis being in this game scares the floaters, which causes the floaters to have to play, which means that
Danielle is scared shitless.
It takes the target off of us.
I'm scared shitless of Nakomis and so is Howie, because we are the people she targeted because she's a smart and strategic. But she is smart and strategic. I mean, Nakomis, just like she took on, Nakomis in her season took on everyone else that the house was scared of.
And they're scared of Will and Boogie.
But if Will and Boogie are dismantled with Boogie going home.
Not necessarily, and that's why we're trying to stick Jace in the group.
I just see Nakomis as being the knight in shining armor for all these floaters come 2 weeks from now after Chilltown is dismantled.
Okay, well, 2 weeks from now, right now, here's the thing. Right now, we are public enemy #1.
I don't think we're public enemy #1. I think Chilltown is
I'm trying to be. Why? When did Chilltown become an enemy?
When they gave into their paranoia.
And when was that?
Well, I think.
Now.
What the fuck?
Here. Come with me.
What? And how did that happen?
We just getting off the fucking subject.
I want you to know, because here's the thing. How did they all of a sudden become paranoid?
Well, one,
people pressure.
He's not a good player.
Okay.
Okay.
And
he was. Okay.
Do you realize that I wanted to create that paranoia? Do you think it just accidentally happened?
Paranoia in this house is one of the most.
It happened.
Paranoia in this house is more basic of an instinct than any other emotion.
I agree.
Because that is what fuels.
But you need a catalyst.
Everything in this house.
And you know what? The first week everything was fine and dandy. We were all sitting around the fireplace singing "Kumbaya." But you need a catalyst.
So that's the thing. Like everyone might have been sitting around the fireplace, but I was out there fucking getting in bed with Allison and fucking all these other people to figure out what the hell was going on.
You know what? There were a couple people playing the game, but there was no dissension in this house. I'm trying to cause dissension. Okay.
The dissension part is working great. The dissension part is working great. That's why I said I don't even want to talk about that, because physical health because of this shit is another thing. But I really need to know why. Two things. Why we need Nokomis against Chilton. I understand she'd be a great ally if she gets rid of them and then somebody bounces her ass out the next week.
Okay.
But I don't think that's going to happen.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think, first of all, once Chilltown is gone, or is even dismantled, let's say Boogie goes home, okay, and you have good players, you have great players like Danielle, Nokomis left. You have good players like Marcellus and Erica left. And then you have a piece of shit like George left. You have 5 people who are going to be motivated by Will, and he's going to sit there and he's going to tell these people, listen, you've watched this many weeks in a row, season 6, pick people off, da-da-da-da-da. He's going to have these people motivated to come after us. And I would rather face, whether he motivates them or not. Let me fuck up scenario.
Just basic.
But I'd rather face Diane.
I want to say
3 weeks.
I want to say based on your logic, just that logic right now. Do you think if we take out Nokomis, that would not happen?
It would happen.
So if what
it would happen either
then?
way. It would happen
Then
either way.
What is the premise of that logic?
Well, because I'd much rather face Diane in HOH competition than Nokomis.
Do you realize how much luck is involved in these HOHs? It's not about the HOH competition itself. It's about what the person decides to do with it. I do not know what Diane's going to do with it. I do know what Nokomis will do with it, and she's more of a trustworthy person. And
the first time you know what she'd do with it.
By that time, we'll take her out.
I hope so. If not, that's my ass up there again.
It's not going to be your ass. I know that's what you're concerned about, and I'm trying to do whatever is within my power, within this 1 week of power, to make sure that doesn't happen. I don't care what Boogie is telling you about how, oh, well, you know what, Kaysar's a cool guy, and out of all the people, I think you probably like him the best. He's trying to create dissension amongst our group because he knows that's the only thing that's going to save his ass.
Of course he is, and it's when I'm trying to figure out why we're eliminating one of the weakest players in the game, I need to know.
Because they're hanging themselves. Do you realize Nokomis was sent off crying because of them? People keep saying they've had enough. It's exactly what we want. 3 days ago, that was not the case. Now it is. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to make them look like a bunch of fools. The second they look like a bunch of fools, we take it off of us, and then that will buy us another 3 freaking weeks.
I don't think the people in this game will ever ignore the fact when we have people screaming, "What up, Kaysar?" every 20 seconds.
He hasn't done that in a couple days.
It doesn't matter. It's already been engraved in their fucking...
James, this game is treacherous.
Here's another deal.
It changes every week. I wanted to send Nokomis home 3 days ago, and then the next day I was like, no. And then the next after that, it's just, you change your opinion all the time.
Here's another thing that pissed me off. I had a conversation with Janelle about talking to Jace after she gave him the information that he took back to Allison.
Right.
Then when I sat down at the hot tub today, she's giving Jace the information that I gave her about Mr. and Mrs. Smith using my name. She didn't say Tony Ferrari called her. She's like, James called me, or James told me because Nicole had called him from Big Brother 2. To me, she just threw me under the bus in front of Will, Jace, and his name, fucking Booger. So it's like, when I see shit like that, and then we're getting rid of a weak player, it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever when I'm not getting straight stories from anyone in my alliance.
You're getting straight stories. You know everything that everyone else knows here. Okay? I didn't know...
After the fact?
Not after the fact. During the fact.
Okay.
Okay, just because... Okay, here's the thing. These two are pretty much... They sleep in here. They just hang out here all day long. If you're here, I would explain the same thing. It's not... No big event is going to take place without you knowing. Okay?
Such as nominations?
I didn't even tell them. This guy didn't know. She was here because it happened that she wasn't here the night before. Okay? And then I decided to make the decision. And that was it. But he didn't know. Until, like, afterwards. And so there's no conspiracy or leaving you out in any way. About the whole hot tub thing, that was uncalled for. I didn't even know she was going to do that.
The thing is, like, I'm this close to keeping the information I get from now on instead of sharing it, because every time I share it, I get thrown under the bus. And I am not about sitting in here trying to help you guys by putting my ass on the line, by getting information and making these people trust me, only to realize they're getting fucked in the ass. and then have that information just handed over, like, oh yeah, well James is the one that fucked you. James is the one that fucked you. James is the one that fucked you. Because that's not how a team works.
Did you ask her about that?
I haven't got a chance to talk to her about the hot tub thing. I already told her the last time not to tell shit to Jace.
I told her not to tell shit to Jace either.